most of the team from the last day, so they're quite strong. Piarsaigh, came through in second place in their group. Had a disappointing performance against the Glen in the last day out, so they'll be looking to redeem themselves a bit. So on paper, I think you'd have to fancy UCC because I think they're, on paper they're very strong. But Piarsaigh will hopefully put it up to them.
Yeah, Shawnee, how do you read it?
Similar to Jor, I suppose. The thing with UCC as well is, they have a lot of fellas that played championship hurling in the last 24 hours, and that obviously is not ideal preparation for any championship game. Normally a club side are kind of finishing up with a Thursday night and having a light session, but these guys played heavy stuff. Paddy O'Loughlin now, for instance, with Kilmallock yesterday. I suppose the one thing that's slightly different this year for UCC versus other years is normally when they get a score, it's greeted with a muted response, whereas now you're going to see it's going to be the same for both sides, not clapping or cheering, which might actually even the stakes a little bit. But like Jor, I think on paper and talent-wise, UCC are very, very strong. If they all turn up and play and turn it on, they should beat them. But there'll be plenty of steel and determination in Piarsaigh, especially an opportunity to get to a semi-final. So I expect a huge contest ahead of us. Yeah,
before we dig a little deeper into the nitty-gritty of this one, let's look back on the 2 quarter-finals already played this weekend. 2 fantastic games. What a result for Erin's Own last night against SARS, and then the Rockies beating Douglas earlier today.
Yeah, I was at the Rockies-Douglas game today. Really super game days. I thought it was a great contest all the way through. There was nothing between them. There was 5 at the end that Blackrock won by, but I think Douglas will be look back at it and might rule a couple of chances after half time where they had 4 or 5 wides, one after the other, where they moved Shane Kingston in full forward and tried to create a 1-on-1, but didn't feed him the possession, and he was on top of his game. He was on fire today, and I think they'll probably be, maybe regret not feeding the ball into him because he was, they had a chance. They played really well. I thought that Douglas played really, really well. Blackrock are a very tough, hard, physical team to play against, and I think Michael O'Halloran led by example today. He had a fucking super game, 7 points from play, absolutely outstanding, and they're going to be very hard to beat in the semi-final. And Erin's Own have come through. Really, they're a very dour team, very hard team to beat. They were well up for last night. They were well motivated, like they were outsiders. SARS were in some places were 4-1 on. Local derbies, can throw at times throws up strange results, but they were very motivated last night. They really took the game to SARS, and they were deserving winners, I thought.
Blackrock looking strong, Shawnee, but a word on them, but also a word on Erin's Own and that win last night.
I'd say, like, looking at it on the telly, it just looked like a victory that was born out of complete determination and hard work rate, and then obviously old stalwarts like Owen Murphy, who didn't miss a free, I suppose, at any level, but particularly at senior and county or senior club level. A good free taker was worth his weight in gold, and when he got his chance to take it or to score 40 or 50 yards out, he clung it. And then I suppose the drama with James O'Flynn's piece, James O'Flynn in defence, where the hurley was thrown in, it just added to the whole spectacle. The hook at the end, the hook and the blocking. Remember back in the day when Donald Grady was a trainer with Cork, he always put an awful lot of value in hooking and blocking, and it was never more evidenced with a second to go, really, I suppose, when was it Aaron Myers or
Liam Healy?
Liam Healy was through, wasn't he? So it was a great hook, in fairness. But on paper, before the game, everyone was giving SARS odds on to win. But as George said, local rivalry stuff, different things happen in those types of games. And with Blackrock, look, they're physical, they're strong. Most players are nearly over 6 foot high. Tyke Deasy has been scoring well. George said he only came on as a sub today, probably through injury. But all in all, when it comes to the physical stakes, they're going to be a very, very hard team to beat. And whoever has them going forward is going to know they're in a battle. So 2 really, really good contests.
Yeah, so Erin's Own will face Glen Rovers in the semi-finals. Blackrock awaiting the winners of Na Piarsaigh and UCC. Let's get to the team news then. We'll start with Na Piarsaigh. They had doubts surrounding Adam Dennehy and Owen Sheehan, who both missed the Glen, but they've been pass fit to start, so the team that was named during the week is the team that will take to the field this evening. They remain without some key figures. Eddie Gunning, a Fitzgibbon Cup winner in the past with UCC, Pa Rourke out injured. Evan Sheehan leads the scoring, 25 points in the group stage. Darragh Connery, Shane Ford, they've shown up well as well, Shawnee, in the group so far.
Yeah, well, I think Evan Sheehan has been one of the players of the championship so far. He's scoring not just from frees but from play, and the last day, they were disappointing against the Glen, but the one bright spot was Evan Sheehan's performance. He got 9 points, 4 or 5 from play, which is excellent shooting. And players like you mentioned, like the Dennehy's, Adam, Anthony, Cian Buckley, Christopher Joyce, they were all on a minor team I was involved in 2010. So they've got plenty of pedigree when it comes to underage, inter-county experience and senior experience. So while I said earlier that on paper UCC are stronger, there's plenty of quality in the Piarsaigh ranks.
What about UCC? A big blow. I was talking to Tom Kenny during the week. Neil Montgomery not available for this. You look at the performance he put in against McKilly when he was marked by Niall O'Leary. I think he came away with 5 points. And you look against that in the Piarsaigh half back line, he'll be a big miss today. On the plus side, though, they can welcome Paddy Cadell back into the fold. As Shawnee mentioned earlier, the management, they were sweating on a whole host of players. You can imagine John Granger, Tom Kenny, the phones last night wondering who's fit, who's not fit. But all bar, it seems, Owen Clifford have come through unscathed. He's replaced by Killian O'Dwyer. One other late change sees Zena Desmond come in for Keith O'Leary. Shane Conway, again, they'll look to him today. They'll look to Mark Coleman. Mark Coleman, one of 3 Blarney players who were here last night or 24 hours ago in a most dramatic game against Ballincollig. They got the win there. I mean, for them to be coming back here tonight off the back of a win rather than a defeat, that's big.
It is big. It's big for them because I was kind of watching on the Twitter feed last night, the scores coming through. Like, they were behind nearly for all the game, and 8 or 9 minutes to go, like, they were 7 or 8 points down and came back to win by. So that will lift them, even though, to come back here within 24 hours, that's not an easy task for them. There's 3 of the lads there played last night, so you'd imagine they'll be maybe a small bit tired and a bit, I suppose, a bit fatigued early on. So if Na Piarsaigh can get into the game and go at UCC, I think it'll be interesting. But UCC are, on paper they're quite strong. They have a core of guys there who've played together, who've played the last couple of years with Fitzgibbon Cup players. Yeah. Lowney, David Griffin, Mark Coleman, Paddy Cadell, Killian O'Dwyer. All guys who have won Fitzgibbon Cups, and have gone to the wire. One game that went right down to the wire, and I think that was most impressive for me the last day against Imachilly. When Imachilly came back, went to goal ahead with a couple of minutes to, or point ahead with a couple of minutes to go. UCC rattled off 4 points to win the game, and I think that was really impressive. And they'll be looking to build on that. And on paper, UCC are very good on paper, but games aren't won on paper.
Right before the throw-in for this last quarter-final, Ron Naveen. So here we go, a place in the semi-finals of the 2020 Cork Premier Senior Hurling Championship. On the line here is Na Piarsaigh take on UCC. And one of those questions about to be answered, the UCC players who were in action in the last 24 hours for their clubs in various counties and various codes. Have they arrived fit, sharp, ready and injury-free? James Keating into midfield along with Shane Barrett in the early stages here as UCC shuffle the pack a little. Early touch for Shane Conway, and here is Paddy O'Loughlin of Kilmarnock. Lost to Limerick senior semi-final yesterday at the hands of Doon. That's drilled in towards the inside forward line. A shooting opportunity here and an early goal chance, and taken inside the opening seconds by Paddy Power, the man who scored that point in the dying embers last night to win it for Blarney against Ballincollig. What a start for UCC.
Kind of an early ball in from Shane Barrett. I thought he mishit the ball actually, that it went into the square, and the ball was broken out to Paddy Power, and an absolutely superb finish, topped it in front of the keeper and into the corner of the net. One of the interesting ones for me here is in front of us here, Shane Conway's gone to wing forward and is marking Dara Connery, so I think that's that'll be an interesting battle, and looking forward to see how that develops. Yeah,
what a start, Shawnee, for UCC. They did it against Imachilly, came out flying, and they've done it again tonight.
Yeah, I mean, following up from last night, his exploits, getting the last minute score to win it for Blarney. Fantastic start for Paddy Power. I need to remind him here, a bit of Glen blood in that lad. His father played hurling with us out in the Glen for a long time, Pat. A brilliant hurler on his day.
Cian Buckley, the Na Piarsaigh captain, under pressure there as UCC look to add a quick fire second score. It's Brian Kelleher. Comes back out to Shane Barrett. Lovely ball popped over the head, and a shooting chance, a chance for a second score. And this one popped over the bar by James Keating.
Typical UCC, yeah.
Yeah, lovely passage from Shane Barrett. Kind of dinked the pass over his head to James Keating, who's a lovely striker of a ball, and a lovely point to settle him down.
Yeah, and Na Piarsaigh need to settle here. They had a very interesting group stage. A very late point in the 66th minute, I think it was, from Shane Ford. Earned them a point against Carricktool. Big win against the Bars. Heavy defeat against the Glen as Barrett surges forward here again. Balances on the stick and pops it over the bar. It is 1-2 without reply for UCC. We've yet to play 2 minutes.
Excellent start again from Shane Barrett. Won the wall, and he went up 50 metres up the wing and thought he was going to be hooked and brought it back in. And again stuck it over the bar with his left hand. UCC, that's a good a start as you're going to get.
First attacking opportunity for Na Piarsaigh, and this one to the right and wide from their leading scorer Evan Sheehan. As part of the 2017 All-Ireland minor team, along with Dara Connery and James Keating lining out against him this evening. Dylan Desmond has had a very good championship so far, the Air Rogue man. in the Intermediate A semi-finals coming up for him.
Crossfield.
Pass popped away by Éanna Desmond, one of the late call-ups, angle ball over into that far corner. Scramble on for possession, that's a brilliant pick-up. Trying to get his pass away. Keating there in support, the Kildare man. Head up, looking for Éanna Desmond. The Piarsaigh looking to apply that pressure through Gordon Joyce. Shane Conway, fleet of foot off his left-hand side. It's certainly got the distance. Has he got the accuracy? He has. First for Shane Conway, and it's a beauty.
That's a super score.
Want to go there, Shani?
Yeah, super score. I've seen Shane in action this year a few times down in Licks now. He's a super player, showed great composure. And it's typical UCC. If the score is none, recycle it, get the ball to the best player in position, and that was a typical example. There's Evan Sheehan on the attack now.
Yeah, space, and he'll surely take this score, and he's gotten a Piarsaigh off the mark, and that's a settling score that they certainly needed. Has hurled Fitzgibbon with UCC. Evan Sheehan, one of the few in the Piarsaigh squad who have UCC connections. 1-3 to a point. And the puck out this time goes awry from Dylan Desmond.
A few of Piarsaigh, you say, with connections also. The late Paul O'Connor as well, Des, who for many years was a fantastic player for the Piarsaigh, and then went on to coach UCC to numerous Fitzgibbon Cups. So mixed emotions there as well for Paulo.
Yeah, the late Paul O'Connor, Fitzgibbon Cup Team of the Century he was named on as well, but forged the bond between these two clubs, certainly. Pulled on first time by Kelvin Ford. Can the Piarsaigh test that UCC backline? Paddy O'Loughlin, a big presence back there for the students. And now they can work it forward. James Keating. Low ball drilled into the corner. Good reactions from McKean Buckley to get out in front. Here's Derek Connery. 6 points already in the championship. And Killian O'Dwyer filling in for the injured Owen Clifford this evening. Sees that one out for a sideline ball.
It's a good sub to have to fill in. Killian O'Dwyer's on the Tipperary panel. Was on it last year. Very tight, teak tough cornerback and well able to hurl. So he's a big addition for UCC to be able to call him in this evening.
Yeah, Owen Clifford was carrying an injury this week, we understand. He did play for Clodove in the Intermediate A quarter-final, lost to Sarsfields yesterday, but was asking too much to play 2 games in 24 hours. But as you mentioned, Killian O'Dwyer, great substitute to bring in. And it's down towards the goal scorer, Paddy Power. Can't get to the pitch of it this time, and Piarsaigh look to bring it away. Checking back is Shane Ford. Ball into that right corner forward position. Good reactions from Mark Coleman, covers the ground so effortlessly. And there's that UCC passing game again. This one goes long from O'Dwyer. It's 1-on-1 in around that defensive line. Brian Kelleher of Carrigaline, the UCC man in there, but the Piarsaigh defend stoutly this time and work it away towards Derek Connery. Connery drills one down the line. David Lowney of Clonakilty, the UCC fullback, saw it get beyond him, and here's an opportunity for Padraig Guest. And Guest showing a plenty of pace to bear down on the goal.
Block.
That's a big block coming in. The effort was from Kevin Moynihan. UCC defending well. And now looking to go again. Drilled forward by Paddy Cadell, the JK Brackens man in Tipperary. Too much on that one though for Owen McCarthy. McCarthy very much a goal threat, a goal against Duhallow, a goal against Immakilly as well. But Piarsaigh starting to see more of the ball now, won't Sheehan? O'Dwyer has started well though, hasn't he? And he's got the better of his man again there.
Yeah, and I suppose like the last 2 or 3 minutes in the Piarsaigh, it's noticeable are coming into the game, but they need to start converting. They'll be disappointed they didn't get a score out of that run. A great run by Padraig Guest, but good block. But really a forward in that position should be clipping it over the bar, so they'll be disappointed not to their tally.
Mark Coleman.
Oh, well done.
Oh, and Barrett takes it beautifully. Took Derek Connery out of the game with that lovely touch, and Barrett has started so well, but as soon as we say that, he's put that one left and wide. It looked like he'd the hard work done.
Yeah, it came across very well from his position of wing forward, and the ball seemed was going to Derek Connery, intercepted it, but under a bit of pressure he'd be disappointed with that with the effort to go wide.
Paddy O'Loughlin breaks it down for UCC. Support there from David Lowney, senior footballer with Clonakilty, though their adventure has come to an end. Didn't get out of the group stages. Here's Éanna Desmond of Carrigaline. They've got that semi-final to come in the Premier Intermediate against Blarney. I think there's 3 from Carrigaline and 3 from Blarney in the current UCC squad, so they'll have an interesting few chats ahead, I'm sure. That Premier Intermediate grade has been fantastic this year. Semi-finals, Castle Lions against the Lazarus side, Courcey Rovers, Blarney against Carrigaline. And this one, yes, it is over the bar. Had a good look at that. I think it was Éanna Desmond, was it?
Yeah, what's noticeable Des early doors is how well both Barrett and James Keating are doing midfield. They're completely on top and they're breaking up play, creating scores, and that score again from Desmond came from a break from the two midfielders from UCC. That's Barrett again.
The referee's going to come back for the foul on Greg Healy. Pretty routine, you would think. Scoring opportunity here for Evan Sheehan. 7 points against Carricktool, 9 against the Bars, 9 against the Glen as well. And this should be pretty straightforward for him.
I met Evan Sheehan during the weekend. I think this is, he was saying, might be one of his last games from the Piarsaigh. I think he's heading away to college. He's going over to the UK, to Bath. Oh. So, long-term future is going to be there for the next year or two doing his studies. So he'd be hoping for a big performance tonight to have a reason to come back.
Tangled there, and the UCC line looking for a free. Felt that Andrew Casey was impeded. Referee happy to let it go. Shane Ford drives it long. O'Dwyer underneath it again. Tidying up is Paddy O'Loughlin, but he's been dispossessed as well. Oh, lovely flick inside, goal scoring chance.
Great goal.
And to the back of the net from Padraig Guest, but what a pass to play him in.
And I was just about to comment, great defensive play from UCC, but Paddy should have been, to be honest, he tried to roll pick it. I would have jab picked it. He just created a small bit too much time on the ball and well intercepted and a great finish.
Kevin Moyne did really well to take to intercept him, and then kind of pick the pass up to Padraig Guest and roof with the net for the finish. Great goal, and that'll settle the Piarsaigh.
A very slow start, didn't get out of the traps at all, Piarsaigh, but they've worked their way into it now. 2 great quarter-finals in this Cork Senior Hurling Championship already this weekend, and this one already shaping up nicely. Here goes Shane Ford, certainly a player with a goal-scoring touch. 3 already in the championship, make that 4 now. Piarsaigh have found a purple patch and they've turned this one right around here. Shane Ford, that's 4 goals, 5 points in the championship for him now, and he took it brilliantly.
That was a brilliant goal, and it all came from Darragh Connery winning the ball over right half back position, turned onto his left hand, cleared it, a great ball down to Shane Ford, who split the defence, and his pace, he just really accelerated straight through and planted the ball into the corner of the net. Great goal from the Piarsaigh.
Yeah, we might need a few sheets of paper to keep track of the score tonight. I think this is a 2-2 to 1-4 now. And James Keating, and that one left and wide, and the Piarsaigh line making plenty of noise over there, aren't they?
That was worth a score nearly too.
The volume is certainly coming up from the Piarsaigh sideline over.
Well, news we believe coming through, set to come through on Tuesday, of crowds being allowed back in certain numbers, back into certain stadiums for sporting events, which will be so welcome. We've had some terrific games behind closed doors already in the Cork Championship at various grades. And the Examiner, in association with Dairygold, delighted to be able to bring you the free coverage of so many fantastic encounters already this year. Here goes Conway. Little pass lifted out to his left-hand side. Had to wait for the bounce in at Desmond. Conway there in support again, being hunted down by Gordon Joyce. Oh, Conway, brilliant stick work. They're coming looking for another goal. It's Owen McCarthy. What a save that is. Chance might still be there, and this time it's buried by Brian Kelleher. This incredible start to the game continues. Luke Donovan made the initial save, just didn't get the break of the ball, fell to the UCC man, and that one too was buried.
Brilliant goalkeeping, brilliant save from Luke Donovan, and the ball, he was unlucky, the ball fell to Brian Kelleher, and he just drilled it straight past him again, straight at him and into the net, and a great goal, a great response by UCC. 2-4, 2-2.
Yeah, and in fairness, Owen McCarthy has played super hurling so far this year with UCC. I think that's 2-3 or 2-4 he's gotten in the championship today. He's got an eye for goal, that's his instinct, and in fairness to Conway, a very unselfish player. He's a fabulous hurler.
That one goes beyond Paddy Power, but he might get a chance.
McCarthy
over his shoulder, and the umpire is happy with it. It's another point for UCC. Well, it's you have a go and we have a go. Incredibly, we've only just over 11 and a half minutes played. It's UCC 2-5, Piarsaigh 2-2. Brilliantly taken by Shane Ford, one of the Piarsaigh goal scorers. One that's neither here nor there in the end, and David Lowney can see it through to his goalkeeper, Dylan Desmond, who gets it out to his left-hand side. Cillian O'Dwyer up to Aina Desmond. Desmond off his left-hand side, angle ball over towards this near side. Races on for possession. Cian Buckley on his hands and knees, and Piarsaigh captain scrambling for it, and they've got the numbers there in Piarsaigh. And now looking for a way out. Gordon Joyce. UCC there for safe hands from the fullback David Lowney. And here is Barrett. And Barrett under no pressure, winding up, feeling he's got the distance, which he has done, but just not the accuracy.
He's playing wide, but that's his second. Or he's playing well, sorry, but it's his second wide. He's probably better off delivering it to an inside line that's on top.
Blistering stuff so far. And now it's Piarsaigh looking to build their latest attack, and they'll get the free. And already Evan Sheehan is on his way over to have a look at this one.
Seemed a harsh free, Des. I thought, the ball contesting the air. I think we saw something over the session today in Páirc Uí Chaoimh. The referee called McAllister really let the game go, and I thought it definitely helped the game as a spectacle. I think he blew for frees that were frees, but little technical fouls, a little push in the back. He didn't blow for them, so hopefully Davy Copps will let the game flow. And but I think it's an important part that the game doesn't go to be a contest between the free takers.
Yeah, and an awful lot being made of it of late. Yesterday's game on the telly, Dixborough and Loughlin Gales was led Paul Calriff in it, and he hardly blew the whistle. No, obviously you have to call a free if it's a free, but as a spectacle it creates an awful lot of better game.
So Evan Sheehan does the needful. Two sides who didn't get beyond the third round last year, and Piarsaigh beaten here by the Bars by 116 to 16 points. UCC lost to Bishopstown by a couple of points. It's such an interesting dynamic, isn't it, for UCC? You look, there's maybe 7 of Fitzgibbon Cup team playing their senior hurling with their clubs in Cork and elsewhere, unavailable to John Granger and Tom Kenny. And Dr. Paddy Crowley as well. But they always turn up. They're competitive, skillful hurlers. That's a good ball into Paddy Power. Looking to nick it away from Adam Dennehy. Piarsaigh without Eddie Gunning in that full back line. He picked up an ankle injury in the opening game against Carricktool. The initial prognosis was a long-term layoff, possible surgery, but good to hear. I think the cast is off now for Eddie Gunning. We might not see him this year, but at least it's not as bad as first feared.
Yeah, I think it was very important for UCC this year of all years that they played in the competition. They've been, I think they're synonymous with playing in the Cork County Championships, and I know there was talk at some stage that they may not be included, but I think that'd be a bad move, and I'm delighted because there's a lot of Cork players playing here tonight, and it's great to see them playing, at this stage in the quarter-final of a county championship.
Absolutely, and I think as you referenced earlier about the number of lads that aren't playing Fitzgibbon, or that played Fitzgibbon and aren't playing, I make that there's probably 7 or 8 that did play Fitzgibbon, so that has created a bond, and there's fellas that maybe were subs. Neil Montgomery didn't play Fitzgibbon, he came on as a sub in the final.
He was on the panel, yeah.
He was on the panel, so there is a great old team environment here. And look, obviously I'd be a little bit biased, having played Fitzgibbon there for a number of years. I always have a soft spot for the college as well myself, to be honest.
It's a massive effort, a booming effort from Mark Coleman. And that will take us to the first water break and a chance to draw our breath there. That was a sensational first 15 minutes of this game, and at the end of it, it's Piarsaigh 2-3, UCC 2-5. UCC, as they did against Immakilly, lads, flying out of the blocks. Got the early goal through Paddy Power, added on a few points as well. But a good response from Piarsaigh.
Yeah, great response. They were very lacklustre. You would have thought that might have been on the UCC side with so many games played in the last 24 hours, but UCC came fast out of the traps. I'd mentioned about midfield, James Keating and Shane Barrett were electric for those couple of minutes, giving great ball inside, and the lads inside have an eye for goal. Paddy Power and Owen McCarthy in particular, and in fairness to Brian Keller, he finished it brilliantly. So, and I just referenced as well, maybe Shane Barrett was maybe having some long distance shots that he might be better off plugging the ball in, because I suppose the only fair UCC will have, there is only 2 points in it, and with guys having played so many games that as the game goes on, the old lactic acid might start coming into the legs. But a very, very enjoyable game so far.
We've got Tom Kenny down below to our left hand side, just giving the words of wisdom out to UCC. I wonder what he's saying there. I think Tom Kenny actually was in the UCC team the last time they played in Piarsaigh when they dethroned them in 2005. And you look across here as well to the Piarsaigh line, you've got Colin O'Sullivan, who scored 2 points in that final against Cloyne. You've got his brother Mark as a selector, he was there in 04. James O'Connor was there in 90 and 95. Garrod Daly 90 and 95. Sean Og, of course, is involved as well. So much experience in that Piarsaigh line.
Yeah, absolutely. You've called them out there. All those guys have been part of successful in the Piarsaigh teams. And you see Sean Og up in the stand over there taking a few notes. It's great to see them involved and giving something back to the club. And as you say, the likes of Granger and the likes of Tom Kenny and Paddy Crowley, who've been huge UCC stalwarts. Richie Mooney down there as well, who maybe again mixed loyalties tonight also in the Piarsaigh man. So all to play for. Just going back to reference to the, I suppose UCC playing in the championship, was great to hear Shawnee mention the fact that he's a soft spot for UCC, and he's delighted to see them playing in the championship.
You're rubbing that one in now.
Right, back we go again. The two sides deserve their water break, their breather there. We're off and running again, and James Keating very busy about that midfield sector for UCC. There's that angle ball in towards the corner again. Paddy Power out in front, a chance to look.
It's a great score.
To set his sights, and over the bar from Paddy Power.
1-2 I make it for him. Yeah. Great score, great ball again from Mark Coleman. He's so much tougher.
There was a Blarney connection across ball from Mark, left half back into space, and any forward work to Salt out in front, getting the ball, should be putting those over the bar.
Yeah, both defences being put to the pin of their collar here. Here's Paddy O'Loughlin, big strong centre half back from Kilmallock, surging forward, fouled by Shane Ford. And a decent opportunity here now with the free. And if a few, of course, who could take these. Shane Conway, I think it's certainly within his range. Mark Coleman looking still away over in that left half back position. So it's going to be Shane Conway to step up.
Just to pull at the jersey there, there's Paddy was going through, and in fairness to Shane, he was doing all the hard work to keep him under pressure, and you just pull the jersey and give a free away to Shane Conway, 55 metres out. The chances are there's only one result.
It's on its way. Such a sweet striker of the ball, the Kerry man Shane Conway. Couple of All-Ireland minor B titles, All-Ireland under 21, higher education All-Star last year, and the numbers he's put up in those back-to-back Fitzgibbon Cup wins as well have been phenomenal. UCC, James Keating plucks that one out of the sky. Aina Desmond, low ball down into the corner, and the UCC man out in front again. This time it's Brian Kelleher, and Keating, look at him go again. This is excellent stuff from James Keating, and that one looks high and over the shoulder. Foul on Andrew Casey. And
that's
another
exactly
opportunity coming for Conway.
That's
now.
exactly what you want. Like, Keating went into a cul-de-sac and he didn't panic. He didn't throw up and get hooked easily or blocked easily. He just recycled, gave it back to a player, Andrew Casey, and Casey wins his free.
Yeah, good to see James Keating coming back into form. He got probably a bit of criticism after the under-20 final there against Tipperary in Limerick when he was playing full back, and he's up midfield, and he's been really he's played some impressive matches. So a fine hurler from Kildare, fine prospect there for the last number of years. So great to see him back playing well.
I think Kildare straight into the semi-finals as well as the intermediate A grade. So it could be a big year for James Keating. Scoreboard ticks on to 2-8 for UCC, 2-3 for Piarsaigh, a 5-point game. And it's Anthony Dennehy who has it for Piarsaigh, looking to drive his way out. I think it may have been the first one that was the referee wasn't happy with, not so much the shoulder challenge of Paddy Power. And Piarsaigh 3-time county champions, 1990, 95 and 04, when they produced a brilliant last 20 minutes to run away from Cloyne in that final. As we mentioned, plenty connections over on the sideline. Oh, Dylan Desmond, it's an awful ball to him, and there's a chance of a goal, and it's taken by Padraig Guest. Was it the ball to Dylan Desmond, or was it the goalkeeper's touch? I'll leave the lads debate that one, but it's another goal for Padraig Guest. He's got two now.
Yeah, it was one of those posters from a goalkeeper's point of view you don't want to see hopping in front of you. And Daisy's touch wasn't the greatest, and Padraig Guest did absolutely brilliantly to rob him, and actually batted the ball into the net. So that was the score that they needed, and now the referee has blown Killian O'Dwyer for overcarrying. So that was a big score from the Piarsaigh, because they just kind of lost their way a small bit. And a chance here now from the Piarsaigh to bring it right back to a 1-point game. Yeah,
a lovely finish from Padraig Guest, made sure that he wasn't going to be hooked, just batted it into the back of the net. But for Dylan Desmond, who's had a very good year in goal for UCC, impressive against Duhallow and Imachilly. That's a moment he'd like back again, I'm sure. But as you said, the pass into him had a lot of zip on it as well, bouncing up in front of him. Couldn't control it, and Piarsaigh took full advantage. Evan Sheehan standing over another free. That one is drifting to the right and drifting wide.
Yeah, I wouldn't be disappointed with that free now at this stage. It was you need momentum to keep them in the game. They come back and got the goal, and that'd have been a great score to keep the scoreboard ticking over.
UCC put up 322 against Duhallow, 123 when knocking out the champions Imachilly. They're already on 2-8 with less than 22 minutes played here, and they're looking to add to that. Keating looking to let the ball run across his body. He's managed to get it up and looking to link with Shane Conway, but Piarsaigh have three men around them. And eventually it's a hand pass back by Greg Healy, who's making his first start. They've turned over possession again, and Paddy Power is onto it quick as a flash to add to his tally.
Adam's a good player. We had a minor in 2010, fabulous prospect himself, and Anthony Dennehy next to him, but he should have done better there. Like, he threw it up, he should have shortened Hurley or maybe broken the tackle, and in fairness to Power, he did the block and scored, so fair play to Paddy. That puts him on 1-3, I make it.
Yeah, no doubt. Coming off getting the winning point in a game like last night, like after, must have lifted his confidence, and would do your confidence, a power of good, so he's really started the game on fire today.
Yeah, and that's interesting. You're like fellas are in, playing games and they're tired, but like when you get a massive win like Blarney got, probably gives you another G up and
absolutely
another pep in your steps.
And coming back to the ground where they won that last night as well, back at Piarsaigh Rin, Mark Coleman and Paddy Power and Shane Barrett. Big angle ball over towards this near side, and Kelleher was climbing the Carrigaline man. Couldn't secure it though, and Cian Buckley pops the pass away. Here is Christopher Joyce. Launches a booming ball down. Dylan Desmond is advancing to come and try and claim this one, but just got his body in the way. Made sure that one ran out harmlessly for a UCC puck out. You can see on the puck outs again, Paddy O'Loughlin keeps drifting over to this near side, hoping that Dylan Desmond looks in his way, but instead he's drilled it right down the middle. It goes over the head of Dara Connery. Piarsaigh got secure possession though. Here's Shane Ford.
Did well.
Juggled with it, gets it up and off he goes. He's so quick as he showed with the goal. He's been hunted down here by Shane Barrett. Could he go all the way again here? Ford, he's just lost possession. Gets it away to his left hand side. And Piarsaigh looking to have to come out to find some support as UCC got the numbers there on the end line, but Shane Ford in full flight. He's a fearsome sight.
Yeah, but to be fair to UCC, they conceded a 65, but it was an unbelievable defensive play. Shane Conway coming back from centre forward all the way back to put the pressure on him. And under pressure, Shane Ford gave a hand pass to Dan Gunning, which eventually went up for a 65.
He's been impressive now, Shane Ford, in a couple of games in the championship this year so far. He is. I saw him against the Bars. He played in the inside. He was in the corner that day, and he caused the Bars all sorts of problems. But he's certainly, he's very direct when he gets the ball. He's got a good hand, and he's causing all sorts of problems for UCC at the moment.
Change of free taker. Dara Connery snaps that one beautifully, and straight over the bar from Dara Connery.
It's an excellent strike from Dara Connery. Brings it back now to 2 points.
2 point game, yep, in UCC's favour. UCC with 2-9, Piarsaigh with 3-4. Stopped in now. Was there a tug on the jersey there from David Griffin? I think there was. Just seemed to lose the flight of the ball, David Griffin. Yeah,
good play from Powder Guest again. He kind of shielded the ball well with his body, half hoping to get the ball on the turn. And once the ball went inside, David Griffin had no chance but to pull him down. So he got to take the card here.
Yeah, and that full forward line inside, in fairness, seemed to have the UCC full back line under a lot of pressure. Earlier, Christopher Joyce drove a long ball out aimlessly wide, so I think the instruction should be let it in and let the full forward line test him.
I think both full back lines have been under pressure, haven't they? Both full forwards lines look very, very threatening. And Evan Sheehan takes his point to bring it back to a 1 point game now. For Dylan Desmond, what's the strategy this time? Again, Paddy O'Loughlin has come out to this near sideline, and they've split with Mark Coleman over on the far sideline as well, and Dylan Desmond looking towards the left half forward position. Conway, as he managed to keep it in. The answer is no. Sideline ball to come though. It looks like it's going to be UCC's, and this is in Mark Coleman territory. Saw him land one from pretty much here against McKilly in the last game. He did it, of course, for UCC in the Fitzgibbon Cup semi-final, didn't he?
What a score that day again, up in DCU on a score to win the game in deep in injury time. Probably from nearly the same spot, but the conditions that day were unbelievably tough. But this is definitely Mark Coleman's range, so you wouldn't be surprised to see it go over the bar.
He's had a sensational career with UCC, Mark Coleman. I think he's finished his degree. I'm not sure if he's going back, so this might be his final game. He's caught that one again really well, but just pulls it across the goal and wide.
Could be going back to do what's called the Fitzgibbon postgrad, I think it's called this.
Here goes Dara Connery. Score of an excellent free so far. And again puts his body right behind that one. The pressure came late though, and I think it was enough, as Brian Kelleher was closing on him quickly, and as a result that's gone left and wide.
Yeah, he'd be disappointed with that. Brian Kelleher just as he was about to strike, he kind of had a look back, and Brian Kelleher was just on top of him, and he just pulled it. And here's Shane Ford again after intercepting a puck out.
And off his left hand side,
lovely
score. Angle. That's a beautiful score from Shane Ford.
Calling a point, he's playing well, alright, sure, yeah. which wasn't a great poke out really, was it? I mean, they're not afraid to mix it up. They're hitting their half forward line, or he's not afraid to go short, but if you're going short, it has to go to hand.
In fairness, you have to hand it to both teams in the main. The clinical nature of any turnover possession won, any dispossession, they've usually ended up taking a score from it. Here's Owen Sheehan. Dangerous ball dropped in, batted away by Griffin. Across the goal, an opportunity. Can he get a stick to it? He can.
Save.
Great
Brilliant
save from
save.
Dylan Desmond to deny Evan Sheehan.
Great save, yeah. But again, another example of the threat that's inside. Definitely the UCC full back line's under fierce pressure.
So for me, the Piarsaigh half-back line have come right into the game. There's their half-back line. Christopher Joyce is beginning to dominate a small bit. UCC have made a change. They've put Shane Barrett in at centre forward to see if he can stop the influence of Joyce. And Derek Connery has gone to midfield, and it seems to kind of free him up a bit. And now after the start that UCC had, Derek Connery has a chance from the 65 to put him ahead.
29th minute of an enthralling first half. Scores aplenty. Derek Connery loved it as soon as he hit it. He was heading back into his position. And the Piarsaigh lead by 1 after what was a chastening start to the game. As UCC came at them in waves. And put plenty up on the scoreboard. And UCC, I'm just looking down to the right hand side. Mark Keogh, who's wearing 28, has gone out for a little bit of a warm up. Shane Conway. When he hit it, it was barely off his hurl, and he knew that one was over. It's just the economy of effort, the accuracy levels from Shane Conway.
Simple puck out again. He found space out in the wing. Shane Barrett had kind of made the dummy run, came out from the centre forward position out to the wing, passed back to Conway, and with a flick of the wrist, really magnificent score. We were right behind it, saw the flight of the ball. Great score from Shane Conway.
Change coming, it looks like, for an Piarsaigh. And is that Danny Gunning going off?
Craig Hannafin coming in.
Craig Hannafin coming in.
That's a good sub to have.
Big height advantage here now. He's gone in corner forward and killing.
Oh, short puck out has gone wrong here. He's looking to get a second bite at this, Luke Donovan. He played it short to Anthony Denny. He took it back again, and UCC were alive to it. And the Piarsaigh have gotten away with one there. Adam Dennehy, booming ball over towards the stand side. Comfortably taken by Paddy O'Loughlin. Read the flight of it. And now pops it into midfield. Conway, unmarked for a moment, and that's dangerous from an Piarsaigh point of view. Big ball over towards the corner, and the referee not happy with the hurl coming down from on high. Conway on the way over to take this free. Just wondering what sanction there is. Is it just a talking to for the Piarsaigh man?
Yeah, no card, just a quiet word in his ear.
Looks like it's Cian Buckley.
It's noticeable as well the last couple of minutes. Joe referenced the great score that Conway got. He was integral there to that ball coming across. A brilliant right to left ball. He's really starting to come into the game.
There's a real trust in themselves in their passing game. UCC, they're picking their way out when the opportunity is there, and Conway makes no mistake. UCC back in front. And Mark Keogh down below us has got the helmet on, and it looks like he'll be coming into the action. One of the Fitzgibbon Cup winners back in February. Remarkable game against IT Carlow. Kilsheal and Kilcash in Tipperary, his club. And here goes Paddy O'Loughlin striding forward. Men available on his inside. Pops it to Keating. Turns away into space. Here's a chance for Brian Kelleher. Didn't really catch that one cleanly though. And that to the right and wide.
A couple of scores before half time now. Piarsaigh can get a couple of scores and to get back to level pegging or even get ahead. They'll be in a great position in the second half.
Dangerous ball dropping inside, and Evan Sheehan looking to break it down from the Piarsaigh. It's UCC who have it though. And here is Paddy Cadell, wearing 9 but operating in that half back line for the college. Conway's touch for once was a loose one. That gives Christopher Joyce his chance. Big powerful player Christopher Joyce. One-handed. Gets it back to Dara Connery. Oh, lovely show, and drags it away, Dara Connery, and then pirouettes away from Andrew Casey. Well, you wouldn't begrudge him having a go after what went before. That would have been one of the scores of the season from Dara Connery.
Shawnee talk about that, because he was very good at picking the ball up and spinning away in his day.
And you know what? Conway should have caught it earlier, shouldn't he? Put his hurl into it. I was guilty of that too.
Oh, so there we go. What a half, gentlemen. What a half. Na Piarsaigh 3-7. UCC 2-11, and if ever two teams deserved a little bit of a half-time break here, it's these two. Sensational start to the game, and the scores just kept on coming after that.
Yeah, great scores and some brilliant battles in front of us here. Shane Ford, Paddy O'Loughlin is a great battle. Two physically strong players. Both of them have had their moments. Paddy has finished a little bit stronger, but Shane is on 1-1. On the UCC side, I think Paddy Power is on 1-3. Shane Barrett has 2 points. Conway will always score. He's on 5 points. So then obviously the 2 goals from Padraig Guest have been highlights. But great contest. Some brilliant individual battles and some brilliant individual scores from both sides.
What stood out for you, Ger?
Yeah, I think Piarsaigh will be happy enough after, they were shell shocked at the start of the match. The goal in the first kind of 30 seconds, the first attack of the game, and they looked to be kind of all over the place for the first 5 or 6 minutes of the game. Then they played themselves back into the game, and they've come right back into it. 3-7 to 2-11, great scores in the first half, 5 great goals. You know what I mean? So it's been really, really enjoyable. It's a tight contest. I'd say most people would have thought that UCC would be a couple of points ahead by now, but anything but at this stage.
Yeah, it's interesting as well. We've spoken a lot about the forwards and the scores that have been taken. If we just talk about the goalkeepers as well, Dylan Desmond had that one mistake that led to the goal from Padraig Guest, but he produced a brilliant save afterwards as well to deny Evan Sheehan. And at the other end, Luke Donovan, it's a bit of a risky puck-out strategy at times. He had one great save as well, didn't get the break of it with Brian Kelleher following up with the rebound, but a lot on the goalkeepers as well in the modern game, and we'll wait and see how those two get on in the second half.
Well, you're coming to me this, but I'll have a rattle off in front of this fella. Yeah, sure, look.
We get the first few, then we get the expert.
We get the expert to take over. The two of them have done well, in fairness. I mean, obviously, Dylan made a super save and pushed it over 65. The one that led to the goal that, your man, the cornerback, should have gone to hand. In fairness, he didn't. But Dylan probably still should have controlled it and done better. He's not afraid to go with a short puck out. He's well able to mix it up, but always felt with short puck outs, get at the hand and hit the ball fast and don't be lobbing it. And a few times he lobbed them, and Shane Ford in particular intercepted one. But yeah, look, obviously goalkeeping and how integral it is to setups and restarts and the whole lot, goes without saying. The analysis that's going into goalkeeping stuff now at this stage is just off the wall. But I think both of them have, there's 5 goals, so obviously they'll be disappointed, but they've equipped themselves reasonably well and they've done okay. Yeah,
it's kind of high risk, high reward strategy, really, isn't it, at times?
It is, I suppose. You have to. I suppose when you have maybe 20 puck-outs a half, you're looking at to see what you can do with possession. You do have to try mix it up at this stage rather than try puck every single ball down. Especially in the half-forward line if you're not winning the ball. So keepers nowadays definitely are looking to go short at times, and sometimes the opposition allow you. To get possession, but as Shawnee rightly said, if the keeper's going to give it a pass, it has to go to hand and give the cornerback or the fullback or the halfback, whoever is receiving the ball, a chance to that he's not under pressure, that it's not on the ground, and he's not going to be turned over. So if you're going to do it, you have to execute it well.
Yeah, by my reckoning, there's 5 of the UCC starters, so 1/3 of the team out there who played yesterday. Shane Conway playing football down in Kerry, the others playing hurling. That's one of the big questions now, isn't it, going into the second half? What's in the legs after some tough games yesterday?
Yeah, obviously, yeah. But then we're only saying during the game that sometimes a game... I remember playing a championship game one time in '96 against UCC, and Owen O'Neill played against Tipperary with Limerick in the Munster final about 3 hours earlier. So it's not as if this is anything new for UCC. They're well used to it. I'd say they turn up some games wondering who's going to be turning up, who's going to be injured, who's going to make it. So it's not new territory for them. But sometimes when you've played with your club the day before, you're 20, 21 years of age, you're full of beans, you've had a great win, that momentum and energy can carry you forward. And certainly the likes of Shane Barrett in particular midfield, even for a couple of frees that Paddy O'Loughlin has won when he's breaking up and going on solo runs, the fella free on the shoulder is, believe it or not, Shane Barrett. So the energy he's showing is incredible. Now obviously that might wane a little bit as the second half goes on, but to date, as the first half has gone, they've been nothing but superb, to be honest.
Yeah. How do you see it, Ger, now with the 30 minutes, possibly more to go here?
Yeah, it's we came in before the match and we were saying on paper that UCC certainly had the players that you would consider good enough to win this match, but in fairness in the Piarsaigh, they are causing them trouble, and especially Shane Ford, I think down here in front of us at left half forward, is causing untold problems. When he gets the ball in position, he's running very direct, and that any back who's running back doesn't like it. That also Padraig Guest has got 2 goals inside in full forward. He's got David Griffin on a yellow card. If he can get enough possession and take him on, Piarsaigh I think would be happy to be where they are. They after the game against the Glen, their confidence might have been down a small bit, but I think the way they started and the way they've turned around the last 20 minutes has been really, really impressive. And I think the first quarter here now will set the tone for the second half. Whoever can push it on for the next maybe 15 minutes, obviously before the next water break, has a great chance. But as you say, UCC, you just have 5 guys who played yesterday. Even though you know your momentum will carry you, if the game gets tight, obviously fatigue might kick in at some stage. So they'd be hoping that that they'll be ahead when they go into the last 10 minutes of the game, so fatigue won't be a problem for them.
Just on that, the point you raised there earlier, Piarsaigh having some joy in the forward areas. If you're UCC, do you stick with the personnel you have in terms of who's marking who, or do you maybe look to mix it up a little bit there?
Yeah, they can look at, like, UCC have great options, people around. They could, you might look at, they've put Paddy O'Loughlin out on the wing, which is kind of maybe a bit surprising, because he's normally a centre back of note with UCC. They normally play him there, and even sometimes I wouldn't be surprised to see that they might bring a sweeper into the game. That during Fitzgibbon Cup matches, that's what they like to do at times, to free Paddy up, because when he gets on the ball, he's very good to distribute the ball, and it just forces a team then to to create a bit more space. And what you'll be looking for is that to create space for the likes of Conway and Barrett and Power, that if they get the space, they'll be very dangerous.
Just see Mark Keogh has come on, and he has replaced Brian Kelleher, I think, who's made his way up to the stand. So Mark Keogh, the Tipperary man, in for this second half. As we mentioned, one of those Fitzgibbon Cup winners against IT Carlow, scored a point in that final back in February.
Yeah, but last year he got the goal of the year, didn't he, down in Waterford? He weaved in from the wing, and he's a super player.
Yeah, he's a real confidence player, like, in a point of view, like, when Keogh is on his game, he can do great things, and I suppose it's a sign that UCC are worried enough, like, that they're introducing Keogh at half time. He was warming up, he was warming up at 5 minutes to go before half time there. So I'd say they were hoping not to have to bring him on if they didn't need him. But he's coming on now. He's gone out right half forward, which is a bit of a strange position for him, because normally he kind of plays inside. But they're putting him over right half forward to maybe to curb the influence of Derek Connery.
And so it looks like he's starting right half forward. Shane Conway, where he's 11, would suggest, being picked up by Christopher Joyce. Aina Desmond at left half forward. And that full forward line, Shane Barrett's gone in there into right corner, at least for the throw in here.
Number 8, Kelvin Ford, will be replaced by number 17, Keith Buckley.
And Keith Buckley, we're hearing, coming in as well for Kelvin Ford for Piarsaigh. Keith Buckley had started all 3 games up to this point before starting on the bench this evening.
Yeah, good
so here we go, and straight away Keith Buckley is into it, drills a pacey ball down into the corner. Strong defending though from David Griffin.
That'll be a different type of test as well now for David Griffin inside. He wouldn't be as tall as Craig Hanifin, and Craig scores well from most of the games he's come on so far this year. He's on 2 or 3 points a game, so he'll be a good test to that full back line.
Craig Hanifin, cousin of John Gardner, I believe. The great John Gardner, All-Ireland winner, All-Star. And Keith Buckley has been prominent since his arrival at half-time. He gets on another ball. Driving forward is Dara Connery.
They have plenty of quality. Keith Buckley was a Cork minor in 2010, so they've loads of players like that. In fairness, he'll bring something to that now, alright, the second half.
Incredible when you look at the roll of honour down through the years, where there was one city dominance between the Rockies and the Bars, and Glen and the Piarsaigh. Glen's back-to-back wins in 15 and 16, with the only city wins of the Cork Senior Championship since Piarsaigh back in 2004. Of course, the McKilly knocked out by UCC in the last round, as that one's drilled over by Dara Connery. Aaron's Owen flying the flag for the lads from outside the city in terms of who's left in this championship. And puck out heading towards Conway. Little bump in the back from Christopher Joyce. Referee thought there was enough in that to award the free.
Thought it was a tad harsh on it, did you? Like, he contested the ball and just maybe a hand on the back, but he's let a lot go. Like, I suppose harsh when you see ones like that, then they're blown for. So just gives Conway a chance to put UCC ahead again.
Plenty of air on that one.
That's over.
He rarely misses, Shane Conway.
That's a great score. He just, when he put the minute the ball was on his way, the head was down, he was jogging on back to his position. He knew it was going over. So really, really great score for UCC.
Just a little warning for Piarsaigh as well, that any frees conceded from that range inwards, or even a little bit further out when you've got Mark Coleman on the team as well, they'll have to be careful. Discipline will have to be key, as Paddy Cadell launches it in towards that inside forward line. Scramble for possession. Paddy Powers in there for UCC. Shane Barrett as well, the two Blarney men. And Piarsaigh avert the danger and managed to look to play their way out now. Derek Connery in a race for possession here.
Working hard,
Trying to
UCC.
pirouette and pick it at the same time. He's got
Got
his
away with
hands to it. UCC applying the pressure though. First time pull on the ground from Keith Buckley. No quarter Astor given in there, and the referee's letting it go.
Just
Who can come away with it? James Keating. A snapshot as well off his right hand side that's falling short, and Luke Donovan comes to meet it. Secures it under pressure from Shane Barrett, who's hunting him out towards that far sideline. Gets the ball away though, and Piarsaigh can start looking forward now. Ball zipped into Dara Connery. Picked up a good position unmarked. Now he's heading towards the right corner forward position. Excellent defending though out in front, and the ball popped back inside by the fullback David Lowney, who read that well. And now UCC have a man over on the far side. It's the half-time substitute Mark Keogh. First side of goal from a long way out for Mark Keogh, but to the right and wide.
Yeah, again, James Keating did very well, just going back to that play just before that. But again, Shane Barrett, who was very influential in the game in the first half at centre field, has now gone in full forward, and he had a one-on-one inside there. So sometimes when you have a chance to, if you can get a chance to look up and see what's on inside, rather than just hitting a long hopeful ball in.
Coleman has lost out. That's good work by Evan Sheehan. Space at a premium though as he's bottled up tight to the sideline, but Evan Sheehan comes away with it. Good determined work from the Piarsaigh number 11, but he's been done for over carrying too many steps.
Yeah, that's not the first time tonight that UCC have attacked in numbers, hounded the player in possession, and in fairness, that was tight enough I thought, but Evan probably just had one step too many.
Well, a game that might yet be won on the sidelines in terms of tactical switches, in terms of substitutions introduced. Talking to Colin O'Sullivan during the week, his first year in charge, he said, we were kind of laughing, saying of all the years to have your first year in charge, precious little time with the team, little time to work on maybe new puck out strategies, everything like that. But here they are in knockout hurling. They came out of what was a dangerous looking group. And that's a very well taken long range point.
Yeah, and that's been the challenge for all the teams, really, hasn't it? The season has been so compressed. COVID hasn't helped, but Colin, look, has Piarsaigh's blood, or his blood is coursing through with Piarsaigh in it, so he'll get the respect from the players, and he's done a very good job today.
Yeah, if the players can look to the sideline and see a man who's been there and done that, it counts for a lot. Here is Paddy Cadell. Lovely ball bounced into the ground to ensure no one in Piarsaigh stick could get to it. They've worked this brilliantly again, UCC and Conway. This would be an excellent team score if he can land it, and Conway goes right and wide.
They've certainly last couple of minutes they've got on top of it in the half back line. Paddy Cadell has come into the game quite a bit. They've got on position, and they've had a couple of chances, and their teamwork and their stick work is beginning to come out. Piarsaigh, I think, will do well to hang in there, because I think there's a potentially for UCC to get a couple of scores.
And Cadell went long with that one. That's a foul by Paddy Power. And looking at the scoreboard, UCC 2-13, Piarsaigh 3-8. It's a 2-point lead for UCC. Got to the quarter-finals in 2017, lost a replay by 1 point against Sarsfield. Semi-finals 2018, 12 points adrift of Imachilly on that day. It's a dangerous ball dropping in. Well, was he in there, or did he go in after it? The referee had blown the whistle nice and early there.
I think that was harsh again. I think the corner forward ran with Kevin Moynihan, ran him as the ball was coming in, got his hand to it, and even though Dylan Desmond saved the ball, the referee had blown for free.
Sharp from Conway. He's been taken down. A little bit high that from Gordon Joyce.
That man Conway again, yeah. Fast onto the break. That's his game. Ball's coming off the half forward line, coming on quickly. But from a Piarsaigh perspective, they need to start hitting their full forward line. There's nothing really going in there. That's where the threat is. They're just not getting a stranglehold in that midfield half back line to bomb those balls in.
Yeah, a lot of scores are coming from out the field. Derek Connery with frees and from play as well. But this is an important couple of minutes now for them to get to the water break, that they hang in there, because UCC could tack on a couple of scores, and you could be chasing this game.
So Conway recovered. He takes some punishment in the games, but he always gets up, keeps going. Shane Conway, vital for UCC, and just again, beautiful strike straight over the red dot. And UCC edge 3 points in front. 37, almost 37 and a half minutes played. And Luke Donovan goes long, And the Piarsaigh get themselves a free and a chance for a quick reply here. You just wonder, will it remain tit for tat in the second half now, or will one of these sides have a little purple patch? Could UCC, with the advantage at the moment, give themselves some breathing room and pull clear of na Piarsaigh? Or can na Piarsaigh turn it round, get themselves back in front? Been chasing the game for much of it. Evan Sheehan sends over another free. Dylan Desmond has a runner. Lovely pick up that from Mark Keogh. Ball almost on his laces. Got his hand to it, secured it, and here goes Shane Barrett. He's got a man on the inside. Well, didn't see him for a moment. It was Owen McCarthy. McCarthy, a player with a real eye for goal, but the ball never arrived, and the chance gone for UCC. Here is Sheehan. Bounces the pass down the line, read by Paddy Cadell, who steps across from that centre half back row. Gets the hand pass away inside to David Lowney, and Lowney keeps it moving. Here's Mark Coleman. Pressure is the shout in a Desmond. UCC managed to maintain possession. Piarsaigh shouting that there was a foul on the ball there. Keating juggles with it, keeps it in play. It's hard work for UCC to get out here. But Mark Coleman glides across the turf and pops it out. Asking a lot though of Paddy Power, who's beaten to it. Man out in front of him is Adam Dennehy. A little bit of ground hurling from the Piarsaigh. Ian Desmond gets it up into his hand. Man waiting in support is Paddy O'Loughlin. And no one in the full forward position, so Luke Donovan can take it and can pick his pass as well. Man on as a shout, but the ball is dispatched quickly into the half forward line of na Piarsaigh. Good hand pass, and the ball drilled forward then by Gordon Joyce. Race on into the corner. You can see the idea to get it back first time into the in-running Kevin Moynihan. And Paddy Cadell, as you mentioned earlier, Ger, has really come into it in the second half. Good piece of defending from him again.
Yeah, got in centre back, and he's really kind of dominating there. That was the intent. Ball went in there for Craig Hannafin, tried to do the right thing and flick it back into the corner, into Kevin Moynihan, but it was actually well defended.
Oh, and that was a pull by substitute Keith Buckley, I think, that caught Mark Keogh. And you could hear the impact. Keogh is quickly back to his feet. Play goes on. Owen Sheehan from a long way out, but left and wide.
Yeah, the game's just kind of small but sloppy, isn't it? UCC were overplaying it earlier. A pot shot there from Paddy that went wide, Paddy O'Loughlin, and then Piarsaigh did the same. So just needs to settle down and get a bit more rhythm and a bit more someone get control of the game a little bit more.
Good work from Paddy Cadell again. He's fouled by Shane Ford. Mark Keogh has obviously made of stern stuff. That was a fairly meaty blow that he took.
It could have been nasty.
Just got the end of the swing, but there was no intent in any shape or form. Just got the lucky again. The modern invention of having everyone wearing a helmet. Absolutely. If he hadn't got the helmet on, he'd have been open.
In right trouble there, yeah.
So chance for Mark Coleman.
Deep exhalation. Then from his left, it looks to be heading right and wide. Well, it might be kept in play. Keogh tried his utmost to do so. But right and wide, and UCC leaving a few behind them now in this second half. Still a 2-point game. Coleman beaten to it this time. Good pace here from Keith Buckley, and off he goes. He'll take some catching here. Keating can't get to him. Paddy Cadell comes across, and UCC did enough in the end. And Keith Buckley maybe had a chance to take his point a little bit earlier.
To be fair to Keith Buckley, he didn't have a whole pile of fellas giving him options there either.
Couple of more UCC substitutes I can notice down to our right hand side warming up as well. Dennis McBarron of Carrigaline amongst them. Land in the UCC half forward line. Lovely take that from Keogh, and off he goes. And he's left Gordon Joyce in his wake. He comes back outside Keogh. And Paddy Power in a race for possession here with Christopher Joyce. And it's UCC who come away with it. Lovely turn and the point taken.
Power again, yeah.
Well, they left with something. Opportunity for a goal. It looked at one point as Mark Keogh went racing forward, but in the end it's Paddy Power who adds to his tally with the point.
Very unselfish play from Keogh. Went down the wing. He could have taken a score himself, but looked across to see if he can find his man.
Great
come
take
UCC
there
again.
from Paddy O'Loughlin to set UCC in motion again. Keogh under no pressure at all this time. No Piarsaigh man
He's
within
come really
range
into the game.
to try and close him down, and Keogh takes his point.
He's a bit of a handful now on the other side for Darragh Connery, isn't he? He's really come into the game. He got a point, got a wide, created a score, and now he's after getting a point. So he's been very, very active the last 10 minutes.
Certainly keeping Darragh Connery occupied. Ground hurling in towards that dangerous Piarsaigh full forward line. Strong work by David Griffin of Carrigaline as he takes the shoulder and drives UCC out from what looked like a dangerous position. Mark Keogh works it on early for James Keating. Pass after pass, and then this one from an awful long way out is gone left and wide. An opportunity maybe to work it in a pass or two more there for UCC. Andrew Casey fancied his luck though.
Yeah, a bit of a snapshot. Andrew hasn't scored yet, so getting a little bit anxious maybe to get himself on the score sheet.
UCC 2-16, Piarsaigh 3-9. It's the college as it stands, heading for the semi-finals and a meeting with Blackrock. Scramble for possession. No quarter-aster given down there, and eventually it's Cian Buckley to come away with it for Piarsaigh. Support there from Christopher Joyce, who looks out towards that far side. Time and space for Darragh Connery, who sends it long in towards that full forward line. Hannafin can't get on it. And UCC looking to pick their passes again. Keating, there's a lot of air on that one. Might give an opportunity to Owen Sheehan to put the pressure on. Keating held his composure though. Gets his pass back out to that far side. This one's dropping short and should be Luke Donovan's. He can take it under no pressure at all. Sends it right out into the middle of the field. Breaking ball favours UCC. And off they go again. Keating popped the hand pass. And there's another, and here is Conway. About to be closed down. Glides so effortlessly on the inside. Little dummy to shoot, and then does shoot Shane Conway. But he's not managed to hit the target this time.
If you were UCC, you'd be hoping that you don't rule a lot of these wides. They're dropping shots in. They've been a little bit... They've been a bit lacklustre now the last couple of minutes.
I think they've got on top though across the half-back line. Paddy O'Loughlin's come right into the game. He's got 2 or 3 puck-outs. Paddy Cadell is quite strong. Mark Coleman is very strong here. But maybe their dominance is not reflected on the scoreboard. But again, they scored 18 times tonight. Piarsaigh have scored 12. So I think there's another couple of points here, and Piarsaigh could be struggling.
Coleman short to Conway, gets it back again. But he's pulled this one as well, Mark Coleman. Accuracy levels just not quite there for Mark Coleman at the moment, but UCC will head into the water break leading on a scoreline of 2-16 to 3-9. So that's a 4-point lead. As mentioned, semi-final wins for the winners of this one. We've got Aaron's Own to face Glen Rovers. We've got Blackrock awaiting the winners here. And looking back through UCC's history in the county championship, 2 county titles, but you've got to go back a ways to find them. And the great Ray Cummins scored, I think, 2-3 down in the final back in 1970. UCC have reached 1 final since then. That was against Blackrock, and they took a bit of a hammering that day when they had the likes of Dave Bennett and Joe Dean in their team. But is this the group that can get all the way to a semi-final, ultimately a final, and maybe a shot at winning a county title this year? Certainly got the talent. They showed against Imachilly. They've got the character as well. And when that one went late, when Imachilly got the goal, they responded well to that. Can they close it out now? That's the big question.
Yeah, it's interesting going back in the annals of history as well. I remember that one, Des, in 99 they beat, or Blackrock beat them heavily, wasn't it? That was the start of Blackrock's reign. They had a kind of a great period in the early noughties where they won a couple of back-to-backs and that. But I just referenced it during the game there, just before the water break, that UCC definitely dominating. They've all the play, but some of the shooting is very, very, there's no real determination in it, and they're just lofting balls in. Like when they throw it around, and they throw it around with a bit of purpose, they're way on top of Piarsaigh. But Paddy O'Loughlin had a bit of a snapshot, and Mark Keogh had a bit of a snapshot. So, like if Piarsaigh, they have the capability of getting goals, if Ford opens up, or if Guest gets the right type of ball, there's still only 4 points in it for all the play have. So, if you UCC on the sideline, you'll be saying to them, look, a bit more clinical, get it in, get your finishing, give it to the man in a better position, and get your scoring range, and kind of silly from way out the field.
Dennis McBarron is on, by the looks of it, the Carrigaline man, and looking at what he's done for Carrigaline in the Premier Intermediate. He scored a goal against Sahada, scored a hat-trick of goals against Youghal, and he has gone in to that full forward line.
Mention of UCC on the sideline, you spoke about the last time they won. I see Dr. Paddy Crowley was also involved in that team, and great to see him still involved with UCC after all these years.
Looks like Shane Barrett is the man who's gone. Maybe he had a big first half, hadn't he? Maybe just the exertions of yesterday, and UCC mindful of that. But certainly a goal-scoring threat in there with Dennis McBarron if they can get the right type of ball into him. Coleman drives into a ruck of Na Piarsaigh players. And there's a ball played forward into the college half-forward line. Paddy Power pops the hand pass. Éanna Desmond steps inside beautifully into space. Back to Paddy Power again. Loses his footing, needs some support now as Na Piarsaigh get bodies around him, and Gordon Joyce just throws Paddy Power to the ground. And now they look to go Na Piarsaigh. Craig Hannafin, who's not had a whole lot of ball to work with since his introduction.
Here we go.
Good ball down into the corner. The UCC trying to close off any route to goal for Na Piarsaigh. They've managed to do so successfully to this point. Might still be something there for the City men though. Nice turn, snapshot. Chance gone though, wasted opportunity.
Yeah, that's a poor wide from Shane Ford, who did really well. Padraig Guest again and causing a bit of trouble to David Griffin inside when the ball goes into the corner. He's getting on good possession. David Griffin did well to get back, and he recycled the ball. Shane got it onto his left hand, and Piarsaigh needed that score. They've only scored twice in the last 15-16 minutes in the second half, so they need a couple of scores, and it's hard to see where the scores are coming from.
Yeah, and definitely when they were on top, the launch pad was from the half back line. The two Joyces, and in particular Dara Connery, but Mark Keogh has really put it up to Dara in this second half. He's using all his experience, his strength, his power. Obviously, he's a tip senior the county player. He brings something else to the table. A small bit of needle just starting to come into it now, so let's hope it doesn't boil over too much.
This is it for Na Piarsaigh, isn't it? No, I mean this is knockout. This is do or die. They've got to find a massive final stretch here.
Yeah, I think they're struggling to get a couple of scores there in the second half, as I just said. It's kind of do or die from at this stage now. You see, have had 12 wides in total, and if you'll be looking at some of those scores, if they had got some of them, they'd be well on top. But Piarsaigh still hanging in there. They'll be looking. They need a couple of scores to get a bit of momentum back in the game for them.
You were adding it up earlier, Ger. Na Piarsaigh with 12 scores in the game so far. UCC with 18. They spread those scores around well as well. Look like UCC are warming up Keith O'Leary as well of Castle Lyons, who's had a very good Premier Intermediate Championship with his club. They left out of the starting 15, having been named in it during the week. It looks like he'll be in for the closing stages here. Dane Lee on the pitch for Na Piarsaigh, dropping one in, plenty of air on that one. That was meat and drink really for David Lowney to come out and try and attack that.
Good pressure.
Here's Keating, looking to run away into some space over on this stand side, and Keating, no one there in the black and red. Ball bounced in by Gordon Joyce. He races on to secure that possession. It's Kevin Moynihan dropping a lot deeper now. Dara Connery, pressure was there, just sliced his effort. Dara Connery, and picked up by David Lowney. David
Lowney's been impressive tonight, Shawnee, hasn't he? He's gone out of
excellent.
He's defended really well.
And did well the last time as well, didn't he? Did he 2 games in the one day against the O'Kelly? He had a game earlier with his club, Clonakilty, so good prospect that lad, yeah.
Had Rob Downey, of course, for the Fitzgibbon Cup team, but he's unavailable to them. Now Na Piarsaigh, they are looking to go along, maybe feeling that goals are needed. 9 minutes of normal time, plus a few to be added on as well in this last of the 2020 Cork Premier Senior Hurling Championship quarter-finals. And Dylan Desmond watching that one, took an awkward bounce in front of him, half-hearted appeals for a penalty.
They've got to be scoring them because they're gone with 2 inside and spare man outside. They got to be scoring. They ought to score here now.
Great take from Kevin Moynihan, who winds one up from right on halfway. And that's a frustrating one for that inside forward line as well, who'd like that ball dropped in.
And really well to catch. Got a great ball over Shane Conway's head, but decided to go for the long range point, but pulled it to the left. And as Shawnee said, Piarsaigh need to get some scores. They need to get momentum. There's just 10 minutes left. They got to find it from somewhere.
And Dylan Desmond asked by the referee to get on with it. What a puck out that is. Lands it right on top of his man. Killian O'Dwyer, who'd advance down this left hand side, and they're queuing up here for the pass. It's Paddy Power, the man who receives it, but it's another wide for UCC. And so accurate in the early stages of the game. Almost flawless in that first half, but the wides have totted up as the game has gone on from the college's point of view, and they'll be hoping they don't rue those missed opportunities. Coming away from the ruck with possession is David Griffin. Ooh, Coleman was caught. by Keith Buckley. A little bit of afters between Keith Buckley and Cillian O'Dwyer, who wasn't happy at all with the challenge by Buckley on Mark Coleman.
No need to do it. Mark had given a kind of a poor ball down the line. It was intercepted by Piarsaigh, and that type of lack of discipline now could cost him yet.
And Keith Buckley getting a good talking to from the referee and a yellow card for his troubles as well. And the attention required for Mark Coleman. It's certainly a factor that you guys have mentioned already, the performance of the UCC half-back line, the longer this game has gone on.
Yeah, they're all quality players. They're really very, they're all inter-county players. Like, they're all playing at the top of their game. Paddy O'Loughlin up from Kilmallock would have been disappointed. They lost last night, surprisingly, to Doon, but has given great service to UCC over the last number of years. And on the Limerick panel, obviously, Paddy Cadell, star of the future for Tipperary, really wholehearted player, really good, very good hurler. And Mark Coleman, outstanding player. So that's been the launch pad for UCC tonight, I think.
Cadell has read the game really well in the second half. You can see he's got on a lot of ball. Shane Conway sends that one skywards.
It's a mighty score.
Big score from Shane Conway, and a big score for UCC.
Mighty score.
Fantastic score from inside the zone half. And again, as Shawnee said, lack of discipline from the Piarsaigh, gave away the silly free, and he punished him severely with a great score.
5-point lead for UCC as we go down the stretch here, and the Piarsaigh, it's beginning to look like they'll need goals. But that UCC half-back line again stands firm. Here is Mark Keogh. Gets the pass away to his right-hand side. Full forward line looking for some service here, and that's where it's dropping. And it looked like he had secured it initially. Owen McCarthy just spilled out of his grasp. The Piarsaigh need possession. They need to get down the pitch and get a score or two. But coming away with it is Paddy Power. And Piarsaigh felt maybe he'd picked that one off the ground today. James Keating. And Luke Donovan keeping an eye on that one and manages to prevent it from going over his crossbar. And now Donovan gives it all he's got, sends it long into the half-forward line. Every breaking ball important now, certainly from an Piarsaigh point of view. That's excellent work from Andrew Casey. Here is Conway, the little injection of pace as he steps away from Gordon Joyce. Conway still going, man available to his left-hand side. UCC looking to pick their passes. Here is Keogh, a little step back onto his left, and Keogh couldn't get his shot away that time, will get his shot away this time.
If you ever wanted
a big points back to back for UCC.
Cameo of how to recycle a ball and find a man in the best position, that was a brilliant play from UCC. A fantastic finish from Mark, but again, Conway right at the heart of it, and just recycling out to the best player in the best position, and then a brilliant score. And even Mark was nearly hooked, and he just steadied the ship and threw it over brilliantly from his left.
Brian Verling of Clodove is on for the closing minutes as well. He played yesterday too for Clodove against Sarsfields in the intermediate quarter final. Scored 9 points, albeit in defeat though. There's a chance for Hannafin, and he will drop it in. Dylan Desmond coming to meet it. Safe hands from the UCC goalkeeper. Not just that, but he picks his pass out as well. Lands it right to Cillian O'Dwyer. In the blink of an eye from the goalkeeper, taking it down to Paddy Power, who got the UCC machine up and running tonight with that early goal. Paddy Power. It looks like he and Mark Coleman are going to go the full game here for the second time in 24 hours at Páirc Uí Rinn.
That's great commitment from the lads, from the three Blarney guys, having played last night in such an exciting game. To come out again tonight, as you said, probably play the full hour. Except Shane Barrow went off earlier on there, but just shows their commitment to UCC.
Hannafin. Dangerous looking ball in. Dylan Desmond watching it all the way. That's such an awkward one for a goalkeeper. Couldn't be sure if there'd be a touch or not. Stood his ground and approved the right decision from Dylan Desmond. Fairly unflappable goalkeeper. That's dropped in by Shane Ford. You see the tactic now from the Piarsaigh. But once again, UCC repel the danger, and off they go, looking to add to their tally and put more daylight between the teams. Closing in on a semi-final appearance, UCC. Here's Verling, gets his first touch. Éanna Desmond. That one dropping short as well. 2:18 to 3-9. 6-point lead looks a healthy one for UCC. It's got to be goals or nothing now for Na Piarsaigh to keep their dream alive of a place in the semi-finals and a meeting with Blackrock. And once again, the long ball, UCC have dealt with it so impressively. And Verling, big switch of play. Keogh, who's been impressive since his half-time introduction. Conway just gliding forward. Well, his overall play has been impressive. He's left a few scores behind him, but just The way he plays the game, the balance, the poise.
He's easy on the ideas.
Certainly something Blackrock and Fergal Ryan will be having a look at ahead of the semi-final, if that is the case. Carl Walsh at Ballincollig, another UCC sub on the way. McBarron pops it back to Aina Desmond. He's bottled up. James Keating arrives in support. Keating drives between two Piarsaigh players and still going. Being hunted down by Christopher Joyce. Oh, great piece of defending. Eye on the ball all the way. Excellent work that from the number 2 Anthony Dennehy. Still having to work the way out though. Not the part of the pitch they need to be in Piarsaigh. Time not on their side. 58 minutes gone. 2 minutes of normal time plus whatever the referee will add on. And they've a fair score to claw back here, particularly with UCC in possession. Mark Coleman from inside his own half, and that one too right and wide.
Yeah, Mark's had a few of them tonight. He'll be disappointed with the long range shooting. He's kind of pulled a few to the right tonight, but again, as I said, that launch pad of their half back line has been really impressive tonight. And you know, other than the mistake for maybe for the goal that Piarsaig's second goal, UCC's defence has been really tight and impressive tonight. David Lowney, you know, has been really impressive. David Griffin across the half back line as well. That's been their launch pad, and I think Mark Keogh is coming on, playing as a deep role right half forward, has had an influence on the game as well.
Good pick up by Dane Lee. Eyes for goal now. Here is Sheehan. Plenty of venom behind it, but over the crossbar, and UCC will take that in the circumstances. Almost there, UCC, and remember they did this tonight without Neil Montgomery, who was unavailable to them. One of the star men, arguably man of the match against Immakilly. Desmond looking over towards that far side, and Keogh. That was a little nibble, a little hurl down in his arm, and that will bring another free for Conway.
Yeah, that's been Piarsaig's first score since the water break. If that's, you know, so they've certainly struggled to get the scores on the board tonight. You know, they got the goals, have kept them in the game, but UCC have been by far the better side in the second half. You know, they've started to really get into their mojo, pass the ball around the place. They've had quite a number of wides, but overall I think they'll be happy to get over tonight and move into the semi-final and give them a chance to prepare for Blackrock in 2 weeks' time. Blackrock have a football game next Sunday for St. Michael, so gives UCC a chance to prepare, and if they can get all these players, you know, ready for the semi-final, we should have a cracker. Maybe
some of the finishing, Shawnee, in the second half left a little bit to be desired from a UCC point of view, but the way they've used the ball, the way they've worked their way up the pitch, and the way that defence has stood strong with the ball being reined in on them in the last few minutes has been impressive.
It's been impressive, yeah. Like, you can even hear, again, when there's no one at the match, you can hear more of the calls, but like, there's fellas demanding the ball, they're hungry, with only a couple of minutes to go. A minute ago there, Mark Coleman had a shot and someone shouted, "Look up!" So they're all mad for ball, they're all hungry. So don't tell me that they don't play like a team, these fellas.
And you've got lads out there as well who'll be hunting maybe double county totals this year. Senior grade at UCC and some of the lower grades, Premier Intermediate A. There are lads out there who are into semi-finals and have those to look forward to as well. So a great time in their hurling careers. Some of them off the back of the Fitzgibbon back-to-back wins as well. Oh, it's a big hit. Well, if you're a fullback and you see that opportunity, I guess you're going to take it. Adam Dennehy.
I suppose that might be the only thing that might come against him as well, Des, even though the fact that they're going to have so many games and clubs are going to have games in a short space of time, you know, it's not ideal. But as you say, when you're playing games, you're winning, you don't mind.
Nothing to Piarsaigh. That's a disappointing second half, really. They never really found that spell where they tacked on a few scores, never found that momentum.
No, and like if you go back over all their games, they only got 12 points against Dublin. I don't think they're a terribly high-scoring team. So when they get chances and they get frees, they need to get them, and every ball that goes in, they need to be clinical and they need to execute it well. And there again, look, just
again the scoring situation. They score at half time. They were 3-7, time nearly up, like the 3-10, 3 points. In a quarter final, is not going to win you a game. So you know, UCC quite comfortable in the second half. I thought, you know, all through never looked under pressure.
Keogh backing in, unable to secure that ball though, and Piarsaigh can come away with it. And once again, the speed of those UCC backs to read these situations and get out in front, and David Lowney's been very impressive, particularly in the second half. And here he is to receive it back again. Brian Verling Certainly has an eye for a score.
That's a good player.
And as soon as he struck at his teammates, giving him that roar of encouragement. Well taken by the substitute, Brian Verling.
Disappointed a bit with Clodove yesterday maybe, but definitely made up for tonight. Fabulous score.
Well, the Piarsaigh take their point this time from Dara Connery.
Class scored again from puck out, brought the ball down to himself, played it with, and just ran on, picked it up and struck it over the bar. The striking has been really, really good tonight.
Almost 63 minutes play. Keith O'Leary is still down below us waiting to come on. I don't think he's going to get too much action, but here he comes now.
Keating.
But they've used the panel well tonight. Tom Kenny and John Granger and Dr. Paddy Crowley, they'll be very happy, I'm sure, with the majority of this performance this evening. Great start to the game. The Piarsaigh came roaring back at them, but how they've handled the second half has seen them through, it looks like now, certainly to a semi-final. And a very interesting semi-final against Blackrock as well. Blackrock, big, strong, physical team. UCC, very nimble, move the ball quickly. It's going to be a great semi-final.
Yeah, contrasting styles, I'd say. It'll be interesting to see the next day now how Blackrock handle that movement and crossfield passing that UCC executes so well. It'll be an intriguing contest, that's for sure.
Carl Walsh, disappointingly for him, has succumbed to injury. He's just making his way back around. Looks like it's a shoulder problem for him, which is never a good one for a hurler. Mark Coleman, look over his shoulder, see how much time he's got. Enough is the answer. And pops a little pass on his inside. Paddy O'Loughlin going for his score, maybe deserving of one tonight. Paddy O'Loughlin didn't hit the target though, but that will see UCC through on a scoreline of 220 to 311. And it's another big scoreline racked up by the men from the college. They put up, what were we saying, 322 against Duhallow, 123 in knocking out the champions in McKilly, and 220 tonight in a deserving victory, Shani.
Yeah, and like if you go through the spread of scores, I don't know, 1-5 maybe for Pádraig Power, Conway 7 or 8, including a couple of frees. Mark Hugh came on and got a score, Brian Kelleher got a goal, Shane Barrett got 2 or 3. Like, fantastic spread in the half-back line. We're scoring or setting up scores and giving great ball in. And look, UCC academically, I don't know, does the academic year come back? It was traditionally October. I think they're back a bit earlier. Now are they back in a week's time maybe, or are they back mid-September? So, that kind of period in the second half where they were maybe putting balls wide and dropping them short, they'll probably go back into proper training now. I mean, they're not really training. They'll probably be up to date now, I imagine, for the next couple of weeks. And that bit of sharpness will come, not necessarily individual sharpness, but sort of team sharpness will start coming even further. So that could be more ominous again for the likes of Blackrock. But all the way through, Piarsaigh had their moments, but they always looked like they were chasing the game. The goals were kind of scored out of nothing. They weren't terribly rehearsed moves. The one that was intercepted for the goal that Guest got, that certainly wasn't rehearsed. They were brilliant individual scores, but there was an awful lot more pattern to UCC's play. There was way more purpose. Most of the scores were crossfield balls out in front of the corner forward, or good breaks coming in where half forwards were hearing in. So they played with an awful lot more purpose and led like at different periods. Looked really, really comfortable, particularly with 15 minutes to go. There was only going to be one winner.
Yeah. Okay, let's take a quick pause and we'll be back to you to reflect on the main moments of this one in just a moment. Yes, welcome back to Páirc Uí Rinn. It is UCC, the last side to book their place in the semi-finals of the Cork Senior Hurling Championship. They've beaten the Piarsaigh with an impressive display and on a scoreline as well of 220 to 311. Ger Cunningham and Shawnee McGrath with me, deserving winners on the night, UCC, and some impressive individual performances out there as well as the team ethic that they showed.
Yeah, and I suppose from a Cork perspective, there was plenty of fellas on view on both sides. Joe referenced a few times Dara Connery, obviously on the losing side, but his striking is superb, and he'll be a trump card for Cork yet. A fantastic prospect. Struggled a tiny little bit, I suppose, last year at different stages at under 20 level, but he's a great prospect. I think he was one of the positives on the UCC or on the Piarsaigh side. I have great time for Evan Sheehan. Disappointed to hear what George said earlier as regards academically what he's going to be doing. He could be a huge loss yet for Cork hurling. At times he showed flashes of brilliance tonight, definitely against Glen the last day. He was probably one of their main trump cards up, along with Pádraig Guest and Shane Ford. And on the Cork side, Joe referenced him a few times. Loney was superb full back. David Griffin was very, very good. And Shane Barrett, Padraig Power, I mean, to do what they did, play yesterday and to perform like they did today, from a Cork perspective, there were loads and loads of positive signs there tonight.
Yeah, Ger, what caught your eye tonight?
Yeah, I suppose overall, UCC were, very impressive. I think they came down expecting to win the game. I think we expected to see them win the game, and they scored 220. They had 13, 14, 15 wides, whatever it was at the end. But they'll be happy. It was a job done. They're now in the semi-final against Blackrock, and it's a far bigger challenge for them. But they're a game away from the county final, and you go through their team, Des, and they have. I think they have really good defenders. I think some of those six backs there are very, very good. They rely on Shane Conway quite a bit up front, but again, they have Shane Barrett, they have Padraig Power, did really well. Mark Keogh came down tonight and put his hand up, and he'll start probably the next day if he's available. So there are a lot of very good individual players for UCC to have there, and I suppose from their point of view, I suppose that's the challenge, is to blend a team or that it'd be good enough to beat Blackrock, because Blackrock are very strong, they're very physical, they're a very good club team, and they were really impressive today. And I think UCC will enjoy the challenge, but I think Blackrock, after the victory today, will probably go in as slight favourites in that match. But UCC are there on merit. They've beaten Duhallow, beaten the McKillie, beaten the Piarsaigh, and I'd say they'll look forward to the game against Blackrock.
Right. Let's look ahead to those two semi-finals before we go then, starting with UCC Blackrock. Stylistically, Shawnee, what can we expect in that one?
Yeah, well, that's the challenge that Fergal Ryan will have on his hands now. Obviously, he was Teague Tough, he was a brilliant defender himself, so no one knows defensive play better than Fergal Ryan, but it's very hard to play against the UCC style, and it goes way back. When we played in the 90s, it was always kind of a crossfield ball. It was always the half-backs. You knew if you were playing inside it, if a right half-back had it, it was almost invariably going to come into you left corner forward, and they move it so fast and so swiftly that the Blackrock cornerbacks have to be out in front, not defend from behind, get out in front, be fine and physical, and just be on the edge a little bit. Obviously, like, it depends on the type of referee you get. If you get like Colin McAllister, he's going to let it flow. But like, if you're punishing, if you're pushing in the back, and if you're giving away, silly frees, Shane Conway will punish you. So the challenge Fergal is going to have, is just balancing his team, playing Teague tough, but getting out in front, and then maybe making sure that the half back line, which will be his half forward line, don't get the opportunity to be a platform where the likes of Coleman is launching brilliant balls across. And then from the UCC side, then obviously they just need to play their own game, be a little bit more clinical, open up, go on those solo runs, try and get fellas as fresh as they can, because it is a little bit of a worry when Shane Barrett, who was electrifying in the first half, hardly poked the ball in the second half. So they need to try and mitigate against that sort of fixture backlog, try and keep fellas fresh. That'll probably be their biggest challenge, keeping fellas fresh.
And to see who's fit and ready to go when they do, and maybe the likes of Neil Montgomery will be available. We don't know what the other club championships are like in the other counties, or who's playing and who won't be playing. From an Erin's own point of view, I mean, that brilliant win last night, not many gave them a chance against Sarsfields, but they dug it out and they got it done, and a real character-laden performance, that one. And now they run into the Glen, who for many are probably the favourites to win this this year.
Yeah, I suppose last night they went to the game as outsiders. They're going to go in against the Glen in the same mode. They will be outsiders. Nobody will probably give them a chance. The Glen have been probably the most impressive team so far in the championship. But
Martin Bowen will have them ready though.
He will, yeah. But the Glen haven't played for won't have played for 4 weeks. You know what I mean? And even though some people say that's give you a chance, a bit of a break. I know Knicks are playing football next week as well, and I'm not too sure if there's many dual players. But sometimes having 4 week break is can be a bit of a hindrance. And Erin's Own will be well up for it. They'll be pumped after winning last night. They'll go training this week, and they'll be really with a spring in their step. And they're in the semi-final at the county, I would imagine, probably starting out the year probably a bit ahead of their expectations. But they're a tough team. They're they never give up. There was times this year in the championship, even against Newtown in the last day, they were out of the game and they got a goal in the last minute to bring them through to the quarter-final and won last night. So you'd have to say that Glen would be favourites on merit, but the Glen have been impressive. So we have the makings of 2 great semi-finals. Blackrock, I think, and UCC will be a great game. UCC I think Blackrock have very physical players. They're half forward today in the second half. They had the 2 O'Keefe's brothers and Michael O'Halloran, big physical players, and I think looking at the UCC half back line tonight, that was their trump line for me. But I think if you look at it on paper, I think Blackrock will have players to actually test UCC there. But someone
UCC will know Michael O'Halloran anyway.
They will, and he was playing this year with them, and he's been a great servant to UCC. But he was, he led by example today. He gave an outstanding performance, 7 points from play, really outstanding. So all the ingredients of actually 2 great semi-finals, and it's been a great championship so far. So something to look forward to in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, gents, really enjoyed it. Thanks a million for your company tonight, and we look forward to the semi-finals. We knew coming in, of course, there would be new county champions this year, with Immakilly knocked out by UCC in the last round. Could it be UCC to go on and win this year? Well, they're certainly still in the mix. They've got a semi-final to look forward to now against Blackrock after a very impressive performance here at Páirc Uí Rinn this evening, beating the Piarsaigh comfortably in the end, a scoreline of 220 to 311. So it'll be Blackrock against UCC and Erin's Own to face Glen Rovers in the Derry Co-op Superstores Cork Senior Hurling Championship semi-finals. How we are looking forward to those. From Ger Shawnee, myself and all the team here at Páirc Uí Rinn, thanks for watching, and we'll see you again next time.